Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel for another Escape from Tarkov video, this time with a quick little update on some new barter trades that were just added to all of the traders at level 1, giving access to some pretty high tier items in exchange for rare military electronics. You can get some decent weapons, expensive stims, high tier armor like hex grids and CPC plate carriers, the Reese helmet, thermal scopes, and other stuff using these barters. And there are tons of reports on the spawn rates for items like VPX and military electronics being raised up so we can find more of this stuff to trade in. I don't think anyone is quite sure whether these trades are permanent or part of a limited time event, but there's a pretty high likelihood that these barter trades are related to the upcoming trader on Lighthouse, who was confirmed pretty recently to deal in high-end electronic components, the same kind of stuff required in these barter trades. If I had to make my best guess, I think that these barter trades might be hinting at the purpose of using the Lighthouse trader to buy high-end electronics like VPX, RFID, and stuff like that. I could see it being kind of a guaranteed way to get these items below the flea market price with some risk attached, and then you come back to the regular traders with the items that you buy in Lighthouse and trade them for some hex grids or whatever else you want. If they do it like this, I'm guessing the barters will be changed fairly often, giving like a weekly selection of high-end barter trades that you get access to great gear with. It could also be that the Lighthouse trader will have barter trades like this, and rather than selling us electronics, he'll have the trades for the stuff, but we'll have to wait and see about that. For now, let's just take a look at the trades that are available right now. All of these trades were added to level 1 traders, so anyone can use them, and they're not locked behind a level, quests, or anything like that. Starting with our boy Prapor, he has 3 new trades right now that get you access to some pretty solid armor and to the dreaded impact grenades. First, he has a trade for the Juk 6A armor, a class 6 body armor that I don't think you can even get from any other traders. This barter requires 2 AESA phased array elements, so it's not exactly cheap, but it's pretty on par with the later barters for class 6 armor. Next up is a barter for the RGN impact grenade requiring 1 military cable, and another barter for the RGO impact grenade requiring 1 MGT. You can trade for 2 of each of these during each trader reset, and combined with the other trades for impact grenades from Prapor, you can build up a pretty good supply of these currently, so have fun dropping these into people's laps. Next up, at Skier, we have a barter for the FLIR thermal scope requiring 2 iridium, 2 MGT, and 4 military cables. This one is not cheap, but there's no buy limit either, so if you have lots of these items stored away or play enough to find them with the higher spawn rates, you can barter for as many thermal scopes as you want, technically. I saw someone post that there was also a new barter for the Reaper scope, but I couldn't find any new barters for it, so either it was removed already, I'm completely blind, or someone got it mixed up with the level 4 trade. At Ragman level 1, we have quite a few barters that can get you some high-end armor, stuff that's locked behind level 42 and tons of quests, so expect people to be rocking some pretty good gear over the next little while. First up, you can get the Reese T helmet from Ragman for just 1 SG-C10 signal transmitter, and the face shield can also be traded for a single military cable. Both of these items skyrocket in price on the flea market, likely due to this, but with the increased spawn rates at the moment, they're pretty easy to find on Lighthouse and Reserve, making this actually a pretty solid way to get a hold of arguably the best helmet in Tarkov. Next, you can pick up a hex grid armor for 3 SMT cassettes and 4 SSD drives, a pretty sweet deal for one of the most powerful armors in the game. Be sure to dig around through some computers and filing cabinets to get these items, and you should be making this trade pretty quick. You can also get one of the best armored rigs in the game, the CPC plate carrier, for 2 VPX modules and 4 SAS drives, which is pretty awesome since the regular trade for the CPC is locked behind level 42 and completion of a lengthy PvP quest. So this is a great way for people to try out this armor if they haven't got done the Ragman grind. You can also get a Gen 4 HMK armor for 1 Vertex and 1 Iridium module, a simple 2-piece trade for an armor that I honestly have been sorely missing this wipe since it was removed from the flea market, and seems to never drop off raiders or rogues either. Both of these items can be found on Lighthouse and Reserve, so this trade should be pretty easy to get. Finally, the Gen 4 Assault armor is also available for 1 military cable and 1 MGT, another pretty simple trade that should be easy to put together after 1 or 2 Reserve or Lighthouse raids. Peacekeeper's stock of new barter trades mostly cover some weapons and ammo, starting off with the 338 AP ammo, which you can trade for MGTs 1 bullet at a time. This one seems a little bit iffy since you need a 338 rifle in the first place to use this stuff, but I'm sure there's some people out there who are going to wreak havoc with this ammo while the trade is available. Next, we have a barter for the 7.62 Scar H requiring 3 VPX storage modules, which is quite expensive, but nice if you just really want to run some Scar H raids. You can also get a G28 rifle with a a scope for 1 signal transmitter and 2 iridium modules, which is kind of neat, but also ironically way more expensive than the other trade for this same rifle at Peacekeeper level 3. There's also an M45 pistol available for 1 military cable, but honestly, you'd have to be a psycho to make this trade instead of just buying it for like 10,000 rubles on the flea market. Honestly, these trades just kind of confirm my suspicion that BSG doesn't really know how to do barter trades for weapons that have a good value. Almost all barter trades for weapons in Tarkov are either way too expensive or way too cheap, and it seems like whoever creates barter trades just doesn't really understand how much weapons are actually worth when you're making these trades with barters instead of money. The last barter that I could see at Peacekeeper is the Thor Class 6 armor for 1 SMT cassette and 1 AESA phased array element. This trade actually seems pretty good for a fun armor to run fat factory raids with, and pretty easy to get if you can find these items. Next up, we have some barters for weapons and attachments from Mechanic level 1, starting with a trade for the Raptor rangefinder for 1 military cable, letting you upgrade your sniper setup pretty easily. You can trade 2 MGTs for the PMag D60 drum mag, which is kind of a godsend if this thing sticks around, because otherwise this was a real pain to find for the gunsmith quest early on. An interesting one here at Peacekeeper is the red advanced buffer tube in exchange for a single VPX, which is pretty close to the flea market price of this thing anyways, so it's kind of a cool way to get a really rare weapon upgrade part to improve your builds pretty substantially. Finally, Mechanic has 2 barter trades for different variants of the USP-45 pistol, with the elite variant trading for 1 iridium and the USP match pistol trading for 1 SAS drive. Personally, I see this as a pretty big missed opportunity for the threaded barrel tactical version to be available at level 1 Mechanic, and honestly, I wouldn't drop an iridium on a pistol, but that's just me. Finally, we have 4 trades from Therapist as well, all of them getting you access to a powerful stimulant injector. First up, you can get the ETGC healing stimulant for 1 VPX module, which is a pretty good trade, and you can get infinite of these, so it's one of the only ways to stockpile these injectors. You can get a mule stim for 1 phased array element, which is not horrible, but you're better off crafting mule if possible, though this isn't a really bad trade. You can get 1 SJ9 stim, which hides you from thermal scopes for a vertex, which is kind of a great idea since they also added an infinitely available thermal scope trade during this event, so this is a pretty good counter to that. Finally, you can get an SJ1 stim for 1 SSD drive, which is a solid trade to get this stim, which can then be used to craft 2 SJ6 in the med station, giving it a decent value. Well, that pretty much covers it for all the barter trades that I know of that were added today, and if I missed anything, please let me know. To be honest, I want to believe that this is all in preparation for the Lighthouse trader, the expansion, and possibly even a wipe or some kind of other surprise content drop. That being said, I think it's best to keep our expectations measured and just run with what we know. Have fun with some of this gear using the new trades, and maybe hoard up some high-end electronics to see if they start changing these barters around and make it a recurring thing. What do you think? Should we be at full hype alert right now, or is this just a little weekend fun with some new trades? In any case, I hope this was helpful. Thanks for checking out the video. I've got links to my Twitch stream, Discord server, and Patreon page down below for anyone interested. And until next time, stay safe in Tarkov City.